Alrighty, folks. One thing we do on this channel is we try to listen to our audience and understand what they are talking about, where they might be getting stuck. And Miss Beth Traverso has found a topic that is worthy of a discussion. Beth, what'd you find? What should we talk about?
Hi there. So yeah, Mike, I just wanted to chat a little bit about I think it's really common for people to feel when we're dealing we talk a lot about growing and learning new skills on this channel and pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. And there's some phases that people go through to reach that growth. And it's easy for me or anyone to look at people on YouTube or other places out there that are doing what they want to do, whether it's investing in real estate or being a great real estate agent or whatever it is that people are really, really strong at, and think that it must be so easy for them. They're just natural and they were born to do this thing, and I'm not that person. And um, there's some very distinct phases that everybody has to go through when learning a new skill. And the first is just that awkwardness and frustration stage. And then there's the stage where you get to know how the mechanics work, and then you become a master at something over time. And so I just wanted to bring a little awareness to that, because I know even for myself, I remember sometimes in my career where I was stepping out of my comfort zone to do things that just really didn't feel like something. This is one of them. So this has occurred to me, like coming on here and talking to you and other folks on YouTube, where we're just going, it's unscripted and unedited. Like, I'm an introvert. That's a tough thing for me, but just getting to know this and working with it, or you and the other folks on this channel over time, has made it much easier for me. But I remember when I first, so for example, I had to rebuild my career some time ago, and I had to do my first listing presentation to a stranger who reached out to me. It wasn't somebody I knew. It was somebody reached out to me, and I was interviewing one of three agents, and I had to go do my presentation. I remember being so terrified. I was stuttering. I was like, my heart rate, I was sweating, and I was like, I felt like I was shaking, and I felt like I did a terrible job. And at the end, I like dropped my iPad and broke it. They like didn't go any way at all, like the way I thought it would. But I did get the listing, so I can't say that. But I just remember feeling like this is so unnatural and so uncomfortable. But by the repetition, I got better and better and better. It got a little less terrifying each time. And to now it's just become something where I can almost do it just without even thinking about it. And investing in real estate is like that too. And so there's that awkwardness and frustration stage where you're doing something that you're not accustomed to, and it's going to feel like you're putting on a jacket that doesn't fit you. But just know that that is a required part. There's no skipping over that. I don't know anybody who ever can skip past that awkwardness and feeling of just discomfort to get to that mastery stage. You have to do the reps, and that's the only way to get easier. And that's, you talk about just doing the work, the daily work. And so another thing I see people do a lot is, once you get past that initial discomfort, that grind of just doing the work all the time, it can feel like you're not getting anywhere. And I think a lot of people give up before they have that breakthrough, where the success and the fruits of your labor and all of that come once you reach that momentum. So
Yeah, when I look at this now, having helped thousands of people get to that point of learning the market, writing deals, and sometimes even closing deals, is there's a lot of people that have interest. I call that a shooting star. You get excited, you read one of our Business Insider or Fortune or other articles that have our story, or read my book, and they're like, wow, that's exciting. Good for them. I want some of that. That moment of excitement can be very fleeting when you then hear you're going to have to do the work, right? Get a
yeah,
buy box, look at it every day. That, so some people don't even start, right? They get it, they get excited. Heaven forbid you spend $400 and buy my course. Folks, I can look at my course and see who's never opened it. Believe me, I don't think it's a success for me to have you buy it and then not open it.
yeah,
That's not okay, right? Please, get into it. But then there's people that, do the work and they're like, okay, I kind of get it. To your point, like, okay, I got in. They do the work for 7 days, 10 days, 20 days. And they are like, oh, it's so easy to create an excuse. I'm not going to do it day 22. Like, no, folks, we're talking 90, 120, 150 days.
yeah.
It's supposed to feel boring. It's supposed to feel monotonous. That is actually you learning what is going on. So someday the light switch
Like, you got to
clicks.
create that muscle memory. And it's like, are you interested or are you committed? Interested means it sounds like, oh, that sounds cool. Committed means you're going to do it even when you don't feel like doing it. And you have to do that. It's like when I, would get up and run at like 5 in the morning in the rain before the kids were awake, because that's the only time I could do it. That's another tip I want to give people is like, if you're committed to something and you want to cut past excuses, the best way to do that is first thing in the morning, schedule it before everybody else is awake. I'm a
Amen.
parent of 3. I know what it's like to get the crazy stuff going of the day. If you wait till the end of the day, chances are you're going to not have it in you at the end of the day. Do it early, do it first, find ways, not excuses. Um, it's kind of like pushing a big wheel. I look at like you're pushing that giant wheel, and you have to
Yeah.
lean into it and push, and it's uncomfortable. But then once you get momentum going, that wheel will start just spinning on its own. And then you just have to give it a little touch every now and then just to keep it moving.
Yeah.
You
It
got to keep
really is about momentum. It really
momentum.
is. That first inertia or whatever that's called is tough. And what really, so that bugs me when people don't like, they see the wheel, but they don't push it. But really frustrates me is people who push it, get it moving, and then don't keep at it, right?
Yeah.
And then the wheel will eventually stop. And then you got to start all over again because you've lost
Yeah,
all of it.
real estate agents are known for that because it's like a roller coaster. I guess it could be any entrepreneurial roller. There's a book called Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster. Darren Hardy wrote it. I love that, Darren Hardy. But one of those things is like, yeah, you get, like you work really, really hard. Say, I'll use the agent's scenario, but like you get, oh, I got some clients, I got some buyers, I'm really, really busy. I got some sellers, and then you get them under contract, and then they close, and then you're like, you get a bunch of money. Oh,
Nothing
cool. I
left.
got a bunch of money. And then it's like, oh, wait, the money's running out. I don't have anybody else in my pipeline. And then you got to start all over again, and you can't ever get the momentum.
Yeah.
So you need to think of strategies to just keep that momentum going. I've heard you can lose momentum in as quickly as 2 weeks.
For sure.
So maybe even 1 week. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna, I'm not saying don't take time off, but like I know, like for me in my business, like if I'm out for some reason, somebody else is pushing that wheel for me, or it just goes on its own. It's
Mhm.
always moving. So,
Yeah,
but it takes
absolutely.
a lot of effort to get to that point. But what I want people to do is just to know that, nobody ever feels like a natural or like they're just born to do a certain thing. It always takes some discomfort. And I've actually reached a point now where I like being a little bit uncomfortable because it means I'm growing in a new direction. It never ends,
Yeah.
but I just want people to just have
Yeah. I
that.
think I want to kind of close on these two things. So first and foremost, like you now, I seek it. So one of the things that we're doing this weekend is we're heading down to Vegas to go to an event where Olivia and I will probably be the smallest people in the room. Right. We're going to an event with bigger syndicators and all of that, not because we are syndicators, but because I see opportunities in the future to
Yeah.
buy busted syndications. So I'm
Right.
I'm spending thousands of bucks to go sit in a room where we're the small fish. We know nothing. We're going to probably hear vocabulary that frankly we may not understand. And we're doing that on purpose because we want to be uncomfortable. But again, we're doing the investing now in time so that we can be ready in a year if the opportunities come out. And then second, one of the biggest things that was a complete happy accident was I created this private Facebook group for the course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. And it is the happiest place. If you buy the course, you have to join the Facebook group. It's free. Go watch what other people are doing, posting wins, asking questions, networking, reaching out to other millionaires that are on my channel, like Beth, like Matt, like Dion, like Mike, and the list goes on and on. They're all in there. Get around people. That way you can just be reminded that doing the work works. So yeah, I love this topic. This was a great idea.
Yeah. Stick with it, folks.
Beth, if somebody wanted to buy or sell in King County or get a referral from a top 1% agent, how would they do that?
Right. So people can find me at bethtraversogroup.com or in said Facebook group, or Google me. I'm all over the place.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.